My name is Diamond Mayberry. I'm a 2L at the University of Oklahoma College of Law. I was born and raised in Oklahoma. I went to University of North Texas where I got my biology degree. I realized that that path wasn't for me and I pivoted to law, and that's how I got here.
My name is Darren Seward. I go to OCU Law. I'm a 2L. I got my undergrad at the University of Memphis. I didn't go there the traditional route. Like, I started out straight out of high school going into the military, into the Air Force as a medic. And I kind of changed my major a lot in undergrad and finally ended up with a finance degree, which is kind of what made me decide that I wanted to do corporate law.
I'm Nina Alavice, and I'm at OU Law. I'm a 2L. I am the first person in my family to get this high up in kind of schooling. Both of my parents are immigrants from overseas, so the reason why I kind of chose the path of law was because both of them came from countries that had been war-torn or had experiences with law that were negative. So I kind of ended up wanting to do something that was positive in a way for my community.
I'm Jared Hernandez. I'm a 2-year at the University of Oklahoma Law School. I grew up in rural Idaho, made my way down to Utah for my undergraduate degree. I earned a degree in psychology. And after school, I worked for a few years with young men with mental and behavioral disorders. And it was through that work that I was inspired to attend law school.
My biggest takeaway from the internship is that success is not a straightforward path. You might start in an area you never thought you would be in and learn that you love that area, or conversely, get to an area you do love to be in and you're really passionate about through some of those starting experiences. When I first got to law school, I started out with the idea that I really wanted to do family law, and as I took more classes and externed or interned, I saw a lot of different fields, and I became unsure that I wanted to do family law, but getting to see Nikki Edwards in action and talk to her and getting to visit Palomar and see some of the great work they're doing and a lot of the great work that still needs to be done, it reignited my passion for family law basically. And I got to see an employment law deposition, which I never knew employment law was an area I would even be interested in. It seemed boring to me in my head, but getting to see that happen was really amazing, and I loved that experience.
My biggest takeaway is probably just having the opportunity to see a lot of the different, depositions, divorce hearings, and just seeing kind of the do's and don'ts of being a lawyer. I like the fact that this is more practical. When you're sitting in a classroom, you're learning things, but it's the ultimate goal is you're preparing for a final. You're not preparing for what you're going to actually do in practice. And to get that experience here and, create materials that are going to go to clients sometimes it's just more, it gives you more motivation.
In law school, we learn a lot about the theory of law and how the law develops over time, but here I was able to see how lawyers worked in practice with the law and how they implemented the different techniques in their practice.
It was really interesting to see kind of the different ins and outs of how a law firm runs and kind of the way that different attorneys approach different things. A litigator is going to approach things very differently than somebody who does transactional work, and it was really interesting to kind of see how these variety of attorneys approach their work, but also how they interact with each other and how a firm will run.
My favorite memories would either have to be going to Palomar, just getting a visit, and again, just see the great work they're doing, and it was just amazing how holistic it was, how they had everything in one tiny spot, and they thought of everything, no windows in case someone's looking for you. That was amazing.
Honestly, one of my favorite memories was just sitting in on a closing call, just because I had the opportunity to, sit and talk with the attorney afterwards about, future goals and, whether or not transactional law would be something that's right for me. And I think that was a good thing as a whole about the externship. Not only do you get to see things, but you also get to get advice from real practicing attorneys.
I was able to attend an arbitration hearing, and before the hearing began, we sat with a client, and I was able to see the different strategizing that was going on between preparing the client for the types of questions they were going to hear, and what prompts the lawyer was going to give them in order to lead the hearing in a favorable manner.
A big part of why I came to law school was because I wanted to build community, to give back to my community. So I thought it was really fun that we kind of, all of the externs, we made our own kind of community, and we're able to kind of make this beautiful experience and make it really fun. It's kind of scary going in all by yourself, so it's really nice to feel like you have somebody else who understands where you're coming from as well.